Welcome back here to the GioMoShow, 88.3 FM WXOU. Appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to hit subscribe right here on YouTube. Follow the podcast wherever you are listening. 5-star, however you go and support, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on social media, yada, yada, yada. All the details of that stuff is down in the description wherever you are watching. So we just got done talking about track and field and cross country for the Oakland University Golden Grizzlies as part of our season reviews. We now get into the USPBL part of our show, where we got a bit of a shortened week of games. One of them canceled due to rain. So we got 4 games to cover in that sense. My Hoppers stay on top. Unfortunately, as of this recording, have yet to see the nominees or the award winners for player and pitcher of the week in the USPBL. So unfortunately, we'll have to omit that part. But either way, we got some games to talk about, as well as a bone to pick at the end of the segment here. I'll hold off on that, just so I'm not leading with the flamethrower in that sense. So we'll start it off with the current standings in the USPBL, and I don't want to spoil all the results here, but my Diamond Hoppers stay in first place by 2 games. They are 11-5 for a fantastic start of the season for my Frogs. We'll be trying to get one of the Hoppers onto the show soon enough to kind of get a recap of their great initial start. Behind them are the Utica Unicorns, 10-8. They are 2 games behind the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. And then we go to the West. The West Side Woolly Mammoths, 8-6. And the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers having a tough season. 3-13 is their record as they sit in 4th place in the league. As far as the games played, it started off on Thursday with the Unicorns and the Mammoths facing off in what was a very, very slow game. A game that went scoreless all the way into the bottom of the 9th. Let me say that again. The bottom of the 9th was when any runs were scored in that final inning, bottom of the 9th inning. It was the West Side Woolly Mammoths with the last chance added, got the 1 run needed to end the game victorious over the Unicorns, helping my Hoppers stay on top for the start of that week. And in a game like this, some fantastic pitching was had. The Unicorns went through their bullpen a little bit to get the Mammoths within or only to 1 run, and the Mammoths doing slightly the same. Nate Blaine would pitch the first 5 innings, allowing only 4 hits, walking 2 batters and 6 strikeouts. He would be the main pitcher for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Luke Drummond, former Diamond Hopper, was in for 2 innings as well, gave up a hit, but had 3 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. So I mentioned them because they won. I'll say that. Garrett Bonnet pitched 3 innings for the Unicorns. No hits, no runs, walked 4, and struck out 3. And then they went to 4 more pitchers throughout the rest of the game. But the player to get that 1 run for the Westside Woolly Mammoths, as a pinch hitter, Drew Fleming, with 1 at-bat, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 RBI, was the one that finished with a home run. That was the 1 run that set the game to the Mammoths' victory. Fleming coming in as a pinch hitter, home run, just like that. Mammoths win it on Thursday 1-0 over the Unicorns. Friday's game was supposed to be the Mammoths and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. That game got cut short due to rain. That's the source of the bone picking that must be done at the end of the segment. Again, hold on. I'll talk about it after this one. But that game got cut short, and looking at the broadcast, they cut it at the top of the 6th inning, where the Westside Woolly Mammoths were up 10-1 over my Frogs. Man, it was... Looking at the score here, it was scoreless until the 3rd inning. Each team exchanged 1 run. No runs in the 4th. And then the Westside Woolly Mammoths got 3 runs in the 5th, so now they're up 4-1. And then in the top of the 6th inning, somehow, whether it was slippery gloves in the rain or such and such, 6 runs were scored in that top of the 6th to get them that 10-1 lead, and then rain had to cut the game short. As I'm pretty sure there was already a rain delay in the middle of the game anyway, so they will finish up that game later in the season, I'm sure. So my Hoppers are in a bit of a tough spot when it comes to how that game ended. Moving on to the Saturday doubleheader, it was the Beavers and the Unicorns. The Beavers able to get their third win of the season in Game 1 of this doubleheader, where they beat the Unicorns 4-1. The game would start with the Beavers' lead. In the third inning, they would get a single run that would eventually be equalized by the Unicorns in the fifth inning, as they were tied 1-1. And since doubleheaders are played in 6 innings, the sixth inning was the final one of that game that was tied. The Beavers, however, would score 3 runs in that top of the sixth and hold the Unicorns to none to get them up by 3 runs to win it 4-1 in Game 1. Second game of that doubleheader was not the same for the Beavers, as they would go down 5-0 by the time the third inning finished up, and they would be shut out for those 6 innings, unable to get a run, as they lost to the Unicorns, split the doubleheader 5-0. Looking into some of the stats of that game, in Game 1, Beavers pitcher Greg Loken would pitch for all 6 innings, allowing only 4 hits, a run, with 6 strikeouts as well. For the Unicorns pitching Ben Critson, 4 pitches, 4 hits, a run, and 2 strikeouts for the highlight pitchers. For the Beavers, it would be, looking at the results here, Perez would be grounded out. This is in the 6th inning where they had those 3 runs to get the win. In the 6th inning, Perez would ground out to first base, but it would bring back Petrowski, and then Stevanovic would single for 2 RBIs to bring back Hilbrick and Ballin. That would be the 3 runs scored in the 6th inning to get the Beavers that win in Game 1. In Game 2, however, it was all Unicorns with 4 runs scored in that third inning, including Shin with a double for an RBI, including Serelden singling for an RBI, and then Baggett with an RBI single as well. So it was a whole lot of Unicorns in that second game to equalize the doubleheader. And now the final game of the weekend, it was a rematch of Friday's matchup between the Mammoths and the Hoppers. This one, another low-scoring event. Maybe that's why they're kind of holding off on releasing the players and pitchers of the week. There were a lot of good pitch performances, but there wasn't a whole lot of good batting performances. Maybe that is the cause of the delay. But either way, Hoppers will win this one 2-0 over the Mammoths through 9 innings. It would start off the Hoppers getting the first lead in the third inning with a single run, and then adding on to it in the 5th inning to get them the 2 runs, and would shut out the Mammoths throughout the whole game. On the mound for the Hoppers was a combination of Ryan Corloden, who would pitch the first 7 innings, only 4 hits, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Nick Bastian would get the other 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. That's it. Game over. And as for those Hoppers who scored, it was Martin who got an RBI single, or rather 2 RBI singles. He was the only one that got the bat going for the Hoppers. That got them the 2 runs in the lead. And the pitching held off the Mammoths for the rest. So it was a bit of a weird weekend for the USPBL. A game canceled, a lot of low-scoring events, and such. A bit of a strange weekend. But to review the standings once again, it is the East Side Diamond Hoppers, my frogs, baby, that are up 11-5 in first place. Utica Unicorns 10-8. Westside Woolly Mammoths 8-6. Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers 13-3. So we'll be covering the USPBL next week, as well as this is your home for all USPBL action here at Jimmy John's Field. And now finally, I've dangled the treat in front of you for long enough. The carrot will be now let off the stick. I got a bone to pick with the USPBL. I let it be known on Twitter and Facebook, and oh yeah, I got a Facebook too. But on Instagram is what I meant to say. But it was that Friday. It was that rainy Friday game between the Mammoths and the Hoppers, and I happened to mention to a friend of mine, like we usually, me and an old friend of mine would go and watch a game together. We've done so a couple of summers in a row now. So like, hey, when are we going to go and watch a Hoppers game? Because it's got to be a Hoppers game. That's not a negotiable. So I ask, when are we going to go? And my friend says, I'm actually there right now. It's Oakland night. It's Oakland night. And I said, how did I miss this? Are you kidding me? I lost my mind. I said, how did I not know about this? Trying my best not to be mad at my friend, but there's a little bit of like, why didn't you tell me? But that's not my bone to pick. I'm not saying this to do so with my friend. I looked through to find out how I could have possibly missed this. Somebody like me who is so tuned into the league, who has his notifications turned on for the social media. How did I possibly miss an event that is all of what I'm about? Diamond Hoppers and Golden Grizzlies. Campy threw the first pitch of the game. They were selling t-shirts of Oakland at Jimmy John's Field. Nobody but me should know about this. You know what I mean? Like, how could I, as the biggest Diamond Hoppers fan in the world, as the biggest Golden Grizzlies fan in the world, media member, podcast host, how could I have missed this? And I looked through. And I was looking through the social media. Nothing. And I looked through the website. I went onto their schedule page. And on the bottom of each, they will show what event and promotion that they have for that night. Princess Night, Disney Night, Italian American Heritage Night. Another bone to pick. You guys ran out of peppers and onions on Italian American Heritage Night again. Anyway, I looked through, and the event for that night was Meet the Mammoths Night. No mention of Oakland until you click on that specific game, scroll down a page and a half, and then you see it's Golden Grizzlies night. That can't be stored in the first pitch. That they're selling t-shirts with Oakland at Jimmy John's Field on it. No social media. No article written. Nothing announced for an event like that. That bothered me. And yes, I'm a very specific fan. But at a greater level, why would you have any event that you're not going to promote? It doesn't matter if it's bricklayers night, if it's basket weaving night. Why would you go through the effort of doing any of that? Of getting Campy, of getting the shirts pressed, of probably getting Grizz there, of doing any kind of extra work for the event? Why would you do any of that if you weren't going to tell anybody? You're a baseball league. You're trying to get fans in the stands. You're trying to get them to buy tickets and watch your stuff. And you don't tell them about this? I was unbelievably furious to know that I missed that event. It was rained out. I know. I would have went in the rain. What better event would there have been for me personally to go to? I haven't even been to a game yet. I'm looking to fix that this weekend. But Golden Grizzlies night at Jimmy John's Field, even beyond me, you were going to get people. There's Oakland fans. There's alumni. There's those who know that Campy, won the Horizon League and beat Kentucky. Like, that's a thing that people know about. And you don't tell anybody? I couldn't believe it. I was so furious. I don't usually do it, but I put a tweet up. I put the big tweet up. I said, what did I say? Let me read it out explicitly because I want to be correct. I don't want to put my words in my mouth. Let's go see exactly what I said. I wrote, thanks, USPBL, for clearly advertising that tonight's Hoppers game was Oakland night and Campy was throwing the first pitch. I tagged Golden Grizzlies in this as well. If only I knew someone who loves all those things. Nothing on socials and barely on the site. But hey, at least it's Mammoths night. Listen, I love this league. And I cover them only because I like them, okay? I love my Hoppers, genuinely and purely. And I'm the biggest Hoppers fan around, okay? There's no debate. So I say this to say, hey, You guys got to do better at this. You guys are wasting a lot of time if you're not telling people this. This is a big event. That specifically for me was a big event that I didn't get to go to and you guys didn't get to benefit from. You guys got to do better at promoting your events. I couldn't believe it. So not only did you run out of peppers and onions for Italian American Heritage Night and everyone had freaking dry sausages in a hot summer day, but you mess with Oakland Night too. I don't got many other character traits. Italian, Hoppers fan, Golden Grizzly fan. I don't got much else. If you got gardening day and you don't tell me about it, then I just know you hate me. That's all I'm saying. You guys need to step it up a little bit. I love you guys, and that's only why I'm saying it. But step it up. Unbelievable. I might cut the segment, but okay.